Adult animation, kind of in the toilet right now. Well, that's not exactly true. I mean, Fired on Mars technically is coming out, but based on the reception that I got on that video, it's not gonna be the next Rick and Morty, I'll say that.
Morty, I'm bored, I'm gonna kill you!
So thank God for Unicorn Warriors Eternal. I knew this series was coming out, it was announced a long time ago. There's been really no marketing for it, and it was completely off my radar. But because of the lack of marketing, you might have clicked on this video thinking, Unicorn Warrior, what? Such a long name for something I've never heard of. Well, in this newest adult animated series from Genndy Tartakovsky, an evil force is looming across the dark, thick-aired streets of Industrial Revolution London when a group of heroes dubbed Unicorn are accidentally reawakened in the bodies of teenagers instead of adult hosts they've embodied in the past. Melinda, a powerful sorceress, Sang, a cosmic monk, and Edred, a warrior elf. With distorted memories and their magical abilities weakened and fragmented, the trio must work together with help from their steam-powered robot, Copernicus, to unravel the mysteries of their pasts and present that will reveal their path to defeating a timeless threat. Oh, geez, that was a mouthful. So as you've already, no doubt, figured out, this isn't your typical run-of-the-mill, we're on Mars and we're adulting storyline. This is something that's really complex, with a lot of characters from a lot of different backgrounds. Now look, this show is a tough sell. There hasn't really been a lot of marketing, and I think that's because, unlike other shows, this show kind of looks like a maelstrom of designs all cobbled together into something randomly generated. Which isn't inherently a bad thing, but you want to market a new show like this on, I wouldn't say a gimmick, but on a common theme or setting. In this show, at least from what the promos have shown us, there's nothing really too consistent. Now after watching the first 2 episodes, it turns out that I was completely wrong and there is something tying this all together. But the marketing isn't really leaning into that, and I'm kind of confused why. But I'm getting ahead of myself. This is a non-spoiler video, so I'm not going to be going too much in depth on this stuff. Now I'll admit, the sequencing of events and the minimal dialogue had me very confused after I watched the first episode. Like I said, this one is a tough sell. You have to really kind of know what's going on already for it to really click after that first watch. But I will say, if you watch the second episode, it starts explaining more of the story, and it's a great story. I'm here for it. It's clear that this is going to be a very serialized show, and those are my favorite kind. It's one that's very complicated in this steampunk aesthetic, with possible time travel or time jumping shenanigans about to go down, which is just going to make it more complicated. But hey, if they can pull it off with great writing, I'm here for it. Now this show, going into it, I felt like it had one job. There was one thing it had to do to win me over. It had to create its own sense of style and consistency with these characters. Because again, from the outside, they all look extremely random. A robot, a witch, this elf character. It's all vaguely magic stuff. But then there's also this steampunk robot, and it's really cool. Really cool style, really cool ideas. But there's nothing to sell a new viewer on until they actually watch the first 2 episodes. And I'm here to tell you that you should give it a chance. You watch those first 2 episodes, you will be hooked. Because the pacing of this show is great. It allows moments to breathe in between action scenes, and I think it's very, very cinematic as well. Steampunk is a flavor of world building that we haven't really seen in a long time. And I think if the marketing would lean more into that, then more people would wake up to this show. Primal showed that Genndy Tartakovsky is a master of creating a story around characters who don't say much. Dialogue is limited, especially the first episode, and it's great to see that they can pull off this complex of a story with minimal exposition. There's like no exposition in here. I can think of maybe one line in the second episode and that is it. It's great writing, which is what we need. And obviously, I don't need to tell you how great the animation is. I mean, look at this. There's this one shot in the first episode where someone breaks like the stained glass in a church. Oh my god, it was so cinematic. You guys need to check this out. Because all in all, this may be the last show ever produced by Cartoon Network Studios. HBO Max, or excuse me, Max, dumbasses, are probably going to condense Cartoon Network Studios and absorb it into something else. So if this is their last show, let's just hope they go out with a bang. You guys need to watch Unicorn Warriors Eternal if you haven't yet, because this very well might be the last breath of TV adult animation that we're gonna get for a long, long time. That was my review of the first 2 episodes. Let me know if you'd be down to see some theory videos or just other general unicorn-related videos down the future. Down the future? Down the pipeline. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.